Moving on to China, that has been desperately trying to shift the global focus from its alleged complicity in the spread of coronavirus. Earlier, while it issued retributive trade threats to Australia, its People's Liberation Army is now provoking India by infiltrating into its territory and setting up camps. In an unknown context, the Chinese President Xi Jinping has even asked its forces to stay prepared for a war. But we'll show you how China's tactics are ill-conceived and its threats are hollow.
If the people were to find the epicenter of the growing tensions across the world, then they will have to look for it in the Communist Party of China's headquarters in Beijing. China's ambitious triggered actions have affected peace of almost every country around the world. Whether it's America, Europe, Southeast Asia or South Asia, its desperate bids at gaining diplomatic and strategic dominance by exploiting the pandemic crisis are known to all. The country which is allegedly complicit in the transmission of the coronavirus across the world and is not reporting any new cases in its own territory even had the agenda of gaining global market control. However, the plan turned out to be counterproductive, as not only it has attracted a bad press for over 6 months, but has suffered a massive blow to its economics too. The foreign enterprises in China are looking for an alternative base. Some have already bid it a disappointing farewell. The country's unemployment rate, which officially stands at 6%, has been pushed up to 10% as per the experts. China's disinformation campaign to blame others has fallen flat as the United States has upped its ante in the demanding an investigation into the origin of the virus, and others have joined in. See how Chinese leadership is trying to make peace with Washington, but the Trump administration is just not ready to listen.
中美两国合策两利，斗策俱伤。它不仅关系两国人民的利益，而且关系到世界，所以也引起一些问题发生以后，世界的担忧。总之，要相互尊重，平等互利，尊重对方的核心利益和重大关切，寻求合作共赢，这样于己、于人、于世界都有利。谢谢。
There couldn't have been a worse time for China, as demands of secession from Taiwan and greater autonomy from Hong Kong have picked unprecedented momentum. Their chorus for freedom has resonated with the mass and leaderships. Now see how China has changed the global headlines. The PLA entered the Indian territory several times in the India's northern union territory of Ladakh. Why it did so, nobody knows. It retreated after commander-level negotiations, but just to return in hours. While some say that China has been irked by the heaps of praise India received for its swift and proactive actions during pandemic, others feel that businesses shifting their base has caused the real frustration. PLA says that it has been prompted by Indian Army's infrastructure building along the border. However, just like its virus narrative, its border claims too have no element of truth in it.
India is committed to the objective of maintenance of peace and tranquility in the border areas with China and our armed forces scrupulously follow the consensus reached by our leaders and the guidance provided. At the same time, we remain firm in our resolve to ensuring India's sovereignty and national security.
When Beijing realized that its acrobats were not getting a significant media attention, President Xi Jinping himself came out with a statement saying that PLA should always be ready for all levels of conflicts. However, Beijing is aware of the fact that war is the last adventure it can afford in current times. Chinese ambassador to India was quick to intervene that China wanted the continuation of cordial relationship with India.
The realization of dragon and elephant dancing together is the only right choice for China and India, which serves the fundamental interests of our two peoples and the two countries.
So what is China's motive here? Is it trying to digress the discussion where it is repeatedly being blamed for its antagonism? Or is it trying to bring down the level of animosity it has developed with the United States? The reason could be anything, but it would only and only be China's loss if it tries to bite more than it can chew. Beijing is being criticized in Vietnam. Beijing is being criticized in Hong Kong. Beijing is being criticized everywhere. Better would be for Beijing if it sets its own house in order before trying to set its aim on others' territory.